Hey YouTube world, and hey to my Neville Nation. It's me, Neville Girl, coming to you with another episode. And I'm so excited about this episode because I am coming off of a 3-day Dream Builder Live event with Morrissey. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. Love to have you here. Say hello. And on this channel, I am sharing my Law of Assumption dream life journey. And when I found Neville, so many things just happened in my life overnight, and this is the other side of the story. I'm sharing my journey with you. So on this channel, we make our dreams come true. I claimed that for me, and I'm claiming that for you. So on this channel, we talk about Neville Goddard, quantum physics, and anything related. And then just what my discoveries, my ponderments are, what I'm experimenting with, what results I got, what results I didn't get. I will hold nothing back. What I'm currently obsessed with, where I'm getting amazing content fed. So welcome, because I share it all, and we'll see how this channel evolves, but I'm very excited to share this information about Morrissey. So for those of you who don't know much about Morrissey, if you don't know who she is, go Google her. Go Google Dream Builder Live. I'd seen her on YouTube, and she just had an event here in May. It's always the same weekend as the Kentucky Derby. Both years, this year and last year, I attended the Dream Builders Live. This time this year, it was virtual. I'm not sure why it was virtual, but it was. Last year, it was in Dallas, Fort Worth. So both times, me and my SP attended it. And she does other times of the year too. I understand she did one in LA in January. I think she's changing up her schedule a little bit. I believe she just is turning 76 this year. And so she is one inspiring, amazing lady. I have to just say that. So when you start to learn more about Morrissey and what she is sharing, everybody in this community, whether it's on YouTube, you know, Law of Assumption, Law of Attraction, wherever you're taking information, learning more about this gal, she's a powerhouse. She's a kind, gentle soul, but she has spent time with people like Gandhi. When she took her class with, what was his name? Jack Dolan. That was like her mentor. People in her class were people like Wayne Dyer. Does that sound familiar to some of you? Well, Les Brown. And I believe I heard at one point Michael Beckwith. Maybe it was another class very similar, but somewhere in the mix is Michael Beckwith. And then Bob Proctor, who passed away in the last year or two. And I wasn't sure if he was with Bob Dolan or if it was just her mentor. That one I don't recall. So if someone out there remembers, please help remind me and everybody here. So, so I love Mary because she has just spent time with amazing people, honing her skills, and she is, once you really get in, because that's what happened last year. When I met my SP and he was like, hey, I'm going to Dream Builder Live in Dallas, Fort Worth. Would you like to join me? We went. And as I listened to her material, because I knew it was going to be positive. I knew it was going to be positive. I started to understand, and as I listened and understood everything that she broke down, she has taken and gleaned all the nuggets from whether it's Neville Goddard, whether it is Napoleon Hill, whether it is all OGs, right? Everybody through history. And she has blended what she wants to present to help someone on their journey with a Law of Attraction, Law of Assumption, which most of us who have been around long enough have discovered Law of Attraction is simply this, and she'll say it in her classes, in her events. Hey, you know what? We learn the hard way. She doesn't say it this way. I say it this way. It's basically that like attracts like. You don't, and she will say this, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. So if we're living in our end state, which is a Neville thing, if we go to the end with our sats or whatever the processes that we are using, and we live from the end, which I feel like that's what the processes are. That's why I'm sharing what's working for me. When you find what is clicking for you, you can create the life of your dreams. So law of attraction is just that. It was just the law of attraction. I never knew what life could be until law of assumption. So fast forward to Mary Morrissey. Love her, and I'm just going to do some quick recaps. I highly recommend it. It is basically a free event. You know, like if you're going to go to Dallas Fort Worth like we did, you have to figure out your accommodations and fly there. But like this was a virtual 3 days, and the way they set it up, and just to take it very seriously, is that you just pay for your seating ticket, like to hold the place, and I believe it was $97. But the minute you show up, sign in, and attend, your money is refunded back to you. So it's basically free. I highly recommend it. It's very positive online. This was my first time doing it online. And I do recommend, I would say I love in person more. The energy is so magnetic on both platforms, but I would just say for me, I'm more like in person. So I love that so much, and I could pull in so much energy. Like it was a recall from last year because of the techniques she uses. So let's go over just some of her key factors. And the reason why I'm so excited, because my last 3 videos were about commanding your morning. And you know what? She spent a lot of time. She spent like one whole day talking about what are you speaking over yourself? What are you speaking over your world and the words? And we're going to get to that in a minute, because there's one other thing I love, especially SP and I, we really just, I can't put the words to it, and you'll understand why in a second, because she has a process that's called Time Machine. So I'm not sharing anything that's so proprietary. It's like you can attend anytime, but it's called Time Machine, and it's her version of Neville Goddard's Living in the End. So what she does, so if you don't know what Living in the End, Neville Goddard had SATs, state akin to sleep. Like just before you go to bed, you do an imaginary scene and you feel all the feelings, taste the taste, feel the sensations. You just, first person, just live out the experience, and then you come back and live out the day, throughout the day, like just knowing that has happened, and live in the end. And we're going to go over this more, because I feel like that is where people get hung up. And I even saw a video today where it's like, you know what, cracking the code. And I talked about this in the very beginning when I got inspired to do this channel. Cracking the code is like when you know that you know that you know through quantum physics, and we're going to talk about that too in another video, that you've already experienced it. You're there. Then the 3D doesn't matter. You can kind of let it dissolve. Don't focus on the negative. Let it all go. And we're going to use words. I'm going to do a video on that, but use words and affirmations to kind of just stay in that place. So anyway, Time Machine. So Time Machine, I love it. She kind of has you like stand up, circle around 3 times like clockwise. And then she said, hey, it's 2028. Tell me about your life now. Like, I haven't seen you in 3 years since the last Mary Morrissey event. Tell me about your life now. And, you know, she's been queuing us up. So we wrote everything down about the 4 quadrants. What do you have in your relationship? What do you, quadrant written down as like goals? What do you have written down in your vocation as goals? What do you have in your time and freedom section? What do you have in your, what's the 4th one? Oh, health and well-being. So you just start to get to know yourself. You write it down for the first couple of days, and then you get into the Time Machine, and you do the little process, and then you just talk to somebody, whether it's your SP, whether it's a stranger. You do it multiple times in person. and you are just sharing like, oh my God, it's been 3 years and let me tell you what happened. That energy of when you are saying, oh my gosh, this is what happened, and you're talking about the end state, I cannot tell you how valuable that is and how it sticks with you. Because you're talking about it, you're sharing it with somebody, a stranger or not a stranger. You have emotions, you have vibrancy, and you have the energy of all those people around you. So anyway, that is a very amazing version of Neville Goddard's Living in the End, similar to the Sats. Love Mary Morrissey's Time Machine. And you can still do this with a friend. You can call a friend up and just tell them a little bit about this process. I'm sure you can Google it, find it on YouTube, and you could just be like, hey, let me tell you what's happening now. And so I thought was really cute is my SP said, oh, well, it's not 2028. We went last year. So we're talking about 2027. But you remember that feeling. You remember that end state. Amazing. I just highly recommend. I love Mary Morrissey and I love her time machine process so much. And all these processes are just to help us keep in the end state that helps us just be lock and key to manifesting. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I'm going to share stuff as I go along, but it doesn't have to be complicated. You just pick a couple things. I love that one. Then she went into the power of words, the power of I am, and other aspects of it. And again, my last of 3 videos were Commanding Your Morning, part 1, part 2, part 3. And it's all about what are you speaking? Like for me, I commute in the morning. And so I decided that after seeing a couple of channels that really inspired me, to really take a hold of that. And there was a CD back in the day that also inspired me, and it reminded me so much of that. It was like, okay, I'm just fiercely with no abandon, with all the backbone I've got. This is my life. I'm the creator. I'm God's source creator. I am all that is. And this is what I'm claiming over my day. So I highly recommend that if you're looking for something while you're commuting, or if you want to try it out with me or work. Anyway, so the next part is, and I will share is, again, so there was disempowering, empowering. So like disempowering is, and we talk about this in the community all the time, law of assumption, law of attraction, when people are like, why, when, how? It's disempowering, because if you've gone to the end, and Neville will admit, and I saw this somewhere today, that you don't always know when. Like his story, and I remember roughly, but his family was very poor. So when they came across this technology, this process, they used this process for a couple of years. They had a very large vision, and so many things had to take place in order to this vision to come to pass. I feel like they had wanted to create a store, and they saw a billboard or something like that. And I think the story is that the other business went out of business, and then they took it over, something like that. So there was everyday practical life steps, and quantum physics does come into play. So can we collapse time? Yes. And I will do a video on that. But anyway, so empowering is, what can I do now? Who are you now? Just discussing who you are now, which is the time machine. What steps can I take? What steps can I take this month? What steps can I take this week? What steps, for your dream, like because even though Neville was like, you don't have to do a lot. Sometimes no action is required. But if something comes to you, and if you know that, hey, some things might need to take order, like just see what happens, but just start taking steps towards that dream. And she talks about that. She is big on taking some steps. Because she's just like, it's kind of like they're saying, like, you take one step towards source, it'll take 10, 20, 100 steps towards you. So like you do it with that faith of knowing that you're already there. So and I've heard a lot of other channels talk about this, is like, if you were who you are in the end state, what steps would you take? That's my question to you as Neville Girl. What steps would you take? Who would that person be? That person would start to take some steps. So it's not all about no action. It's just like you don't have to go out and make it happen. You just start moving towards your dream. You start moving towards your goal. So what steps can you take this month? What steps can you take this week? What steps can you take in the next 30 minutes? She even has what steps can you take in the next 5 minutes? And there's more, but I think I'm going to leave it there. I would just say I love Mary Morrissey. I love Dream Village Live, and I believe that we are going to be, myself, SP, we are going to be attending that at least once a year, if not twice, but at least once a year, for as long as she's here to share her amazing gifts with us, because it's nothing but an amazing reminder. Once you've done the time machine, that recall will keep coming back to you, that end state, and it is nothing but magical. So that's what I have to say about that for today. There's so much more, but I encourage you to find out on your own how amazing and magical her events are. So I don't know where you are in the world today or what you're trying to manifest, but I am assuming and holding a space for you that it has already come true. So until the next time, bye. Create something magical, create something wonderful.